Are you at a time in your life when you should be relaxing and enjoying yourself, but instead, you're secretly worried about always being near a bathroom? Does the idea of a long car ride to visit your grandkids, a plane trip to a place you've always dreamed of, or even just a game of golf with your friends make you feel a special kind of nervous? A nervousness that isn't about traffic or how you'll play, but about needing a restroom right away? Are your nights chopped up into frustrating little bits? Do you get up not just once or twice, but so many times that you feel more tired in the morning than when you went to bed? And when you do get up to go, do you stand there feeling like you can't quite finish the job? You've worked hard your whole life. You built a career. You raised a family. And now you have to deal with this strange discomfort, this deep, nagging ache that your doctor might have just brushed off. Maybe they said, well, you're over 50 now, gave you a prescription, and told you it's just something that happens as you get older. If this sounds like your life, I want you to listen very carefully, because that is not the whole story. We're talking about a problem called prostatitis, which is when the prostate gland gets swollen and irritated. It quietly makes millions of men miserable, especially after 50. The idea that you just have to learn to live with it is one of the worst things you can be told, because it makes you feel helpless. But what if things could be different? What if I told you that getting your comfort, your freedom, and your feeling of well-being back isn't about some magic pill? What if the real problem is caused by enemies that are hiding in plain sight? What if the secret to getting rid of that constant, nagging discomfort is found in the simple habits you've had for the last 30 or 40 years? Habits that are adding fuel to the fire of swelling and irritation inside your body day after day. The power to feel like your old self again is much more in your hands than you might think. The answer isn't in some high-tech lab. It's in your daily routine. It's in the choices you make every day. In this guide, we're going to pull back the curtain on the 10 hidden enemies of your prostate. We'll count them down, and I promise you, some of them are so common, so normal, that they will shock you. This isn't just a list. This is your personal plan of action, based on what top doctors are now telling their patients in their 50s, 60s, and beyond. So please, stay with me, because by the end, you will have a clear, powerful, and simple roadmap to fight back and start feeling better. Let's begin. Enemy number 10, your tight clothing. Let's start with a surprisingly simple enemy, the clothes you wear every day. Specifically, we're talking about tight clothing. This includes those slim-fit pants that are popular now, or any pair of pants that feels just a little too snug around your waist and groin. It's easy to think, if I can button them, they're fine, but that constant tightness can be a real problem for your prostate health. This happens for two main reasons. First, tight clothes, especially when made from materials that don't breathe well like polyester, trap a lot of heat. Your groin area is naturally meant to be cooler than the rest of your body, and this extra heat can promote inflammation and irritation. Second, that snug fit puts constant, low-grade physical pressure on the delicate tissues in your pelvis, and it can slightly pinch off blood vessels, reducing healthy circulation. Good blood flow is essential for bringing nutrients and carrying away waste. The solution couldn't be simpler. Give yourself room. Opt for pants with a classic or relaxed fit, and choose underwear made from breathable, natural fabrics like cotton. This small change can make a big difference in your daily comfort. Enemy number 9, sitting too long without a break. Coming in at number 9 is a habit that's become normal in our modern world. Prolonged, uninterrupted sitting. Think about it. You sit for breakfast, sit in the car, sit at a desk all day, sit on the way home, and then sit on the couch to relax. All those hours add up, and all that time, the entire weight of your upper body is pressing down directly on your pelvic floor, including your prostate gland. Imagine your prostate is a small, soft plum. Now, imagine putting a heavy dictionary on top of that plum and just leaving it there for 8 to 10 hours. It would get squashed, flattened, and damaged. This is a good picture of the physical stress your prostate is under. This constant pressure does two bad things. It drastically restricts blood flow to the area, starving it of the oxygen it needs to stay healthy. And it can directly irritate the sensitive nerves in your pelvis, which can cause pain and that annoying feeling of always needing to urinate. The key to fighting this enemy isn't to stop sitting, but to stop sitting for so long without a break. The solution is to become a dynamic sitter. Set a timer on your phone for every 30 minutes. When it goes off, simply stand up. Stretch your legs, walk to the kitchen for a glass of water, or just stand while you take a phone call. These tiny micro breaks are enough to restore blood flow and give your prostate a vital moment of relief. Enemy number 8, the hold it in habit. Our 8th enemy is a habit most of us have, often without thinking about it. Consciously ignoring your body's signal that you need to urinate. You're in the middle of something important and you feel the urge to go, so you clench your muscles and decide to hold it in until later. While this seems harmless, it sets off a dangerous chain reaction inside your body. Your bladder is a muscular bag, and when you refuse to empty it, the pressure inside builds up to very high levels. This extreme pressure is a major problem. It can physically press on your already sensitive prostate from above, adding to your discomfort. But there's a more hidden danger. This pressure can become so strong that it forces a small amount of urine to flow backward out of the urethra and into the tiny, delicate ducts inside your prostate gland. This is a critical concept to understand. Urine is not just water. It's filled with acidic waste products and mineral crystals that your body is trying to get rid of. The inside of your prostate is not designed to come into contact with these substances. When this backward flow happens, it's like a small chemical spill in a very sensitive area, triggering inflammation, irritation, and pain. Over time, this habit can also weaken your bladder muscle, making it harder to empty completely. The fix requires a mental shift. Treat the urge to urinate as an important signal, not an inconvenience. When you feel the need to go, make it a priority to find a restroom in a reasonable amount of time. Don't push your body to its limit. Enemy number 7, spicy foods. Now let's talk about what's on your plate, because certain foods can either soothe or savage an already sensitive prostate. Enemy number 7 is one many men enjoy: intensely spicy foods. This means the hot sauces, chili powders, 5-alarm curries, and anything else that gives your meals a powerful, fiery kick. You might wonder how a jalapeno in your taco could possibly affect your prostate. It's a logical question, but it overlooks how your body gets rid of waste. The chemical compounds that give spicy foods their heat, most famously a substance called capsaicin in chili peppers, are not fully broken down by your digestive system. They are absorbed into your bloodstream, and then your kidneys filter them out and dump them into your urine to be flushed from your body. This is the crucial part. Your urine is now carrying these potent, irritating compounds. If you have an inflamed prostate, prostatitis, the tissues of your urinary tract are already tender, swollen, and angry. As this capsaicin-laced urine passes through the urethra, which runs directly through the center of the prostate, it's like pouring a chemical irritant directly onto an open wound. This can directly trigger a burning sensation during urination, increase frequency and urgency, and cause a flare-up of that deep, nagging pelvic pain. Many men with chronic prostate issues find their worst symptoms appear the day after a particularly spicy meal. This doesn't mean your food has to be bland forever. The key is moderation and awareness. If you're currently having symptoms, it's highly advisable to completely eliminate hot foods for a few weeks and see if your symptoms improve. This gives the inflamed tissues a chance to calm down. Later, You can be your own detective and try a very small amount to see how your body reacts. Enemy number 6, alcohol. Alcohol can be a primary cause of prostate problems, especially for men over 50. It harms you in 2 main ways. First, it causes dehydration, which makes your urine highly concentrated and irritating to your sensitive prostate, like sandpaper. Second, alcohol promotes inflammation throughout the body. If your prostate is already inflamed, this is like pouring fuel on a fire, causing even more swelling and pain. This is why symptoms often worsen the day after drinking. The best strategy is to completely give up alcohol for 4 to 6 weeks. This will allow the inflammation to calm down, and you can see how much better you feel. Enemy number 5, too much coffee. In at number 5, we have the world's most popular morning ritual and the trusted companion of early starts. Enemy number 5 is too much coffee. For millions, a day without it is unthinkable. But if you're battling prostate issues, that fuel might be causing your engine to sputter and backfire. The primary culprit is, of course, caffeine, which wages a multi-angled war on your urinary system. It's a classic bladder irritant and a diuretic, a combination that spells misery for a man with a sensitive prostate. First, its diuretic effect, just like alcohol's, signals your kidneys to produce more urine more quickly. This directly increases urinary frequency. If you already feel like you're constantly running to the bathroom or getting up multiple times a night, caffeine is pouring fuel on that fire by artificially creating the very symptom you're trying to escape. Second, and more importantly, caffeine is a direct bladder irritant. The compounds in caffeine can directly aggravate the sensitive lining of the bladder wall. This irritation sends false, gotta go now signals to your brain, even when your bladder isn't actually full. This creates the sensation of urgency, that sudden, desperate need to urinate that is a hallmark symptom of prostatitis. When your bladder is in this constant state of irritation and spasm, it puts more pressure on the surrounding area, including your prostate, worsening the cycle of pain and discomfort. Furthermore, coffee is highly acidic, which for some men can be an additional trigger for irritation in the urinary tract. The effect is dose-dependent. 1 small cup might be fine, but if you have multiple large mugs throughout the day, you are bathing your urinary system in irritants. The solution requires some honest self-assessment. The first step is to simply reduce your intake and never have any caffeine after 2 p.m. to improve nighttime frequency. For the best results, try a complete caffeine detox for a few weeks. Switch to herbal teas like chamomile or peppermint. Many men are absolutely shocked at how much their urinary urgency calms down once they remove caffeine's constant stimulation. Enemy number 4, constant stress. We're moving up to the more powerful and insidious enemies. Coming in at number 4 is perhaps the most underestimated saboteur of them all. It's not a food, a drink, or an item of clothing. It's a state of being. Enemy number 4 is chronic stress. In our high-pressure world, we wear stress like a badge of honor. But the latest medical research has revealed a devastating link between your mind and the muscles of your pelvic floor. For many men with chronic prostatitis, stress isn't just a mental problem. It's the primary physical driver of their pain. Here's how it works. Your body has a primal, hardwired response to stress called fight or flight. When your brain perceives a threat, whether it's a tiger in the jungle or a stack of bills on the table, it floods your body with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. As part of this response, your body instinctively tightens key muscle groups to prepare for action. We all know the feeling of tight shoulders or a clenched jaw. What's less known is that one of the areas that tightens most profoundly is the pelvic floor, the complex sling of muscles at the base of your torso that supports your bladder and prostate. Under chronic, unrelenting stress, These pelvic floor muscles can go from being flexible and supportive to being chronically clenched, tight, and spastic. This state is a disaster for the prostate. These tight muscles physically squeeze the prostate gland, restrict vital blood flow to the area, and most importantly, they can entrap and irritate the delicate nerves running through the pelvis. This creates a state of neuromuscular pain that feels exactly like prostatitis. That deep ache, the feeling of a golf ball inside you, burning or tingling. This creates a vicious, self-perpetuating cycle. Stress causes pelvic muscle tension. This tension causes pain. The pain, which you don't understand, becomes a major new source of stress and anxiety. This new stress causes the muscles to tighten even further, which in turn creates more pain. Breaking this cycle is critical. It requires active techniques to down-regulate your nervous system. Practices like deep diaphragmatic breathing, deep belly breathing, are incredibly powerful. They stimulate the body's main off switch for the fight or flight response. Just 5 to 10 minutes of slow, deep belly breathing can begin to release the tension in your pelvis. Other proven methods include mindfulness meditation and gentle yoga poses that open the hips. For many men with chronic pelvic pain, managing stress is the treatment plan. Enemy number 3, not drinking enough water. This next enemy is beautifully simple, yet incredibly important. It's not about what you're doing, but what you're not doing. Enemy number 3 is the habit of drinking too little pure, plain water. In a world full of coffee, soda, and juices, many people go through their entire day in a state of chronic, low-grade dehydration. You might think, if I have to urinate all the time, shouldn't I drink less so I don't have to go as much? This is a very common and understandable thought, but it's based on a complete misunderstanding of how your urinary system works, and it's a strategy that will always backfire and make your symptoms worse. Let's revisit the concept of urine concentration. Your body's primary way of getting rid of metabolic waste is by dissolving it in water and flushing it out. When you drink plenty of water, your urine is a pale, straw-colored, highly diluted solution. It flows easily and is very gentle on the delicate tissues of your bladder and prostate. However, when you don't drink enough, your kidneys, trying to conserve water for your body, produce a much smaller volume of highly concentrated urine. This urine is dark yellow or amber, and it's loaded with a high concentration of irritants like urea, calcium, oxalate, and sharp uric acid crystals. Now, think about what we've already discussed. If you have an inflamed, sensitive prostate, passing this super concentrated, irritant-heady liquid through your urethra is like washing a sensitive wound with salt water. It stings, it burns, and it provokes further inflammation. This is precisely why many men with prostatitis notice their symptoms of burning and urgency are far worse when their urine is dark. They are bathing their inflamed tissues in an irritating chemical soup. Good hydration, on the other hand, is a powerful therapeutic tool. Drinking enough water keeps your urine diluted, which soothes the lining of the urinary tract. It ensures you are flushing your bladder regularly and completely, which is your body's #1 defense against urinary tract infections. By constantly flushing the system, you prevent bacteria from getting a foothold and potentially migrating to the prostate. So, how much is enough? The old 8 glasses a day rule is a decent starting point, but a more personalized approach is to look at the color of your urine. Your goal should be to drink enough water so that it's consistently a pale, light yellow color. Sip water steadily throughout the day. Carry a reusable water bottle. It is the foundation upon which all other healing is built. Don't neglect it. Enemy number 2, a sedentary lifestyle. Now we arrive at enemy number 2, and I want to be very clear. This is different from enemy number 9, prolonged sitting. Sitting is a specific action. Enemy number two is a much broader, more pervasive condition. It's a sedentary lifestyle. A sedentary lifestyle is the absence of movement woven into the fabric of your daily existence. It includes the hours you spend sitting at a desk. But it also includes the hours you spend lying on the couch watching sports, the weekend afternoons spent reading for hours on end, and consistently choosing the elevator over the stairs. It's a fundamental lack of physical activity. The human body, and particularly the male pelvic region, was designed for motion. Our ancestors walked, ran, squatted, and climbed. This constant movement kept the circulatory system robust and the pelvic muscles strong and flexible. A sedentary lifestyle is a direct betrayal of this evolutionary design, and it creates a perfect storm for prostate problems. The key issue here is stagnation. Think of a vibrant, flowing river. The water is clear, fresh, and full of life. Now think of a stagnant pond. The water is murky, still, and becomes a breeding ground for algae and bacteria. Your circulatory system is that river. When you are active, blood flows vigorously throughout your body, including the deep basin of your pelvis. This powerful flow delivers a rich supply of oxygen and nutrients essential for tissue repair, and also acts like a powerful flushing mechanism, efficiently carrying away inflammatory cells and metabolic waste products. When you lead a sedentary lifestyle, that river slows to a crawl and becomes a stagnant pond right in your pelvis. This condition, known as pelvic congestion, means that deoxygenated blood pools in the area. The tissues become waterlogged and starved of what they need to heal. This low oxygen, high waste environment is profoundly pro-inflammatory. It creates the ideal conditions for chronic prostatitis to develop and persist because the body simply lacks the circulatory power to clean house. Furthermore, a lack of regular physical activity leads to weak core and pelvic floor muscles, poor posture, and often weight gain. Excess body fat, particularly abdominal fat, is not just inert mass. It's an active organ that produces inflammatory cytokines, chemical messengers that promote inflammation throughout the body, including the prostate. The solution is not to suddenly start training for a marathon. The solution is to reintroduce gentle, consistent, prostate-friendly movement into your life. Walking is the undisputed king of prostate-friendly exercise. It's low impact, promotes circulation in the pelvis without jarring it, and can be done anywhere. Aim for a brisk 30-minute walk every day as a non-negotiable meeting with yourself. Swimming and gentle stretching are also fantastic. The goal is to fight stagnation by choosing movement over passivity whenever you can. Enemy number one, the modern inflammatory diet. And here we are at the number one enemy, the biggest, most powerful factor that can either create a state of chronic disease or a state of vibrant health. Enemy number one is not a single food. It's the entire ecosystem of the modern Western diet. It is the inflammatory fuel you are likely putting into your body, meal after meal, day after day. Over 2,000 years ago, Hippocrates said, "Let food be thy medicine." The inverse is also true. Food can be thy poison. For a man battling prostatitis, the standard American diet is a slow-acting poison that is fundamentally, aggressively, and relentlessly pro-inflammatory. Let's dissect this enemy piece by piece, because this is the information that can truly set you free. First on the list of offenders are refined carbohydrates and sugar. This is the white bread, pasta, white rice, breakfast cereals, pastries, cookies, sodas, and fruit juices. When you consume these foods, they are rapidly broken down into sugar, causing a massive spike in your blood sugar and a subsequent surge of the hormone insulin. A vast body of modern research has established that these repeated spikes in sugar and insulin are a primary driver of systemic chronic inflammation, This isn't just about weight gain. It's about creating an internal environment of constant irritation that directly impacts your prostate. Second, we have the unhealthy fats, specifically man-made trans fats found in many baked goods, margarines, and fried foods, and an excessive intake of omega-6 fatty acids found in common vegetable oils like corn, soy, and sunflower oil. While some omega-6 is necessary, our modern diet is overloaded with it compared to anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats. This imbalance creates inflammation at a cellular level. It's like using the wrong kind of oil in your car's engine. It gums up the works and causes everything to run hotter and less efficiently. Third, we must talk about red and processed meats. This includes beef, pork, and lamb, and especially processed products like bacon, sausage, hot dogs, and deli meats. Multiple large-scale studies have shown a correlation between high intake of these meats and an increased risk of prostate problems, including BPH and prostate cancer. They are high in inflammatory saturated fats, and the compounds formed during high-heat cooking, like grilling or frying, are known inflammatory agents. Fourth, for some men, dairy can be a significant inflammatory trigger. The proteins in cow's milk can provoke an inflammatory response in sensitive individuals. If you consume a lot of milk, cheese, and yogurt and are still suffering, it is well worth trying a 30-day elimination to see if it makes a difference. So you might be thinking, what's left to eat? The answer is a world of delicious, powerful, anti-inflammatory food. This isn't about deprivation. It's about substitution. Choosing foods that calm the fire instead of fanning the flames. Your new best friends are colorful fruits and vegetables. Think of a rainbow. The dark greens of spinach and broccoli, full of anti-inflammatory compounds. The bright red of tomatoes, which contain lycopene, a powerful antioxidant for prostate health. The deep purple of blueberries, the orange of carrots. These foods are packed with antioxidants and phytonutrients that actively fight inflammation. Embrace healthy fats. We're talking about the omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. These are powerfully anti-inflammatory. Other excellent sources include walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. Extra virgin olive oil and avocados are also your allies. Choose lean proteins and whole grains. Think wild-caught fish, pasture-raised chicken, and plant-based proteins like lentils and beans. Swap your refined grains for 100% whole grains like quinoa, brown rice, and oats. The fiber helps control blood sugar and supports a healthy gut, which is also linked to lower inflammation. Making this dietary shift is the single most powerful thing you can do to change the environment within your body. It addresses the root cause of the inflammation that is driving your symptoms. It is the ultimate act of taking back control. So there you have it, the 10 hidden enemies quietly sabotaging your health and comfort. The real solution isn't a miracle pill. It's in the small, consistent choices you make every day. By spotting and removing these triggers, you take back control, reduce inflammation, and live with more comfort and freedom. If this video helped you or gave you hope, please give it a thumbs up. It helps us reach more men just like you. And don't forget to subscribe for more simple, practical health advice. Take care and see you in the next video.